Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2014. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. And I am Tori O'Neal. In today's headlines, Tarleton to expand recycling efforts across campus, local World War II veterans selected for 2014 honor flight, Tarleton's women golf team sweeps Lone Star Conference honors, drug trafficking takes place in Pennsylvania College, and 234 girls are missing from Nigeria. Now today's top story. In honor of Earth Day today, Tarleton is kicking off a large-scale expansion of its recycling efforts. According to Tarleton's Media Relations, members of the Environmental Advisory Council will be at the Barry B. Thompson Student Center from 11:30 to 1 today talking with students about the importance of recycling and sustainability programs. Hector Davis, Tarleton's Environmental Health and Safety Coordinator, the council will be placing 400 recycling bins around campus, as well as exchanging the garbage bins outside with trash and recycling receptacles. Davis explains that the increasing number of bins and their accessibility will greatly increase the amount of recycling items. When the bins are full, they will be collected by transported to the Tarleton Recycle Center for processing. Items that are accepted at the center are paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum cans, and other metals. The funds from the recycling materials will be the fuel for more environmental protection efforts. Davis believes that the expansion is the right thing to do as he wants to divert as much waste from the landfill as possible. The library has prepared for finals week and extended the library hours for the students. We now go to Autumn Adams with more on the story. For local news, the Stephenville Empire-Tribune reports that the two local World War II veterans, Leroy Griffin and Mike Musada, have been selected for the 2014 honor flight. The honor flight is an expense-paid trip that will take the veterans to Washington, D.C. Veteran Memorials and the Arlington National Cemetery, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The plan of honor flight began in May of 2004 when the World War II Memorial was dedicated. Retired Air Force Captain Earl Morse founded the program to honor veterans he had cared for as a physician's assistant. The first flight took place in May of 2005 when 12 veterans traveled from Springfield, Ohio to Washington, D.C. as of November 2010. The program had grown to 114 chapters and transported more than 63,000 veterans. For sports, at a pre-tournament banquet Sunday night, the Stephenville Empire-Tribune reports that the Tarleton women's golf team swept the league's annual rewards. Sophomore Isabel Jimenez Pereira was named the Lone Star Conference Player of the Year for the second year in the row, after averaging an 18-hole score of 73.35, winning 3 events and finishing top 5 out of the last 9 tournaments. Beatrice Prados received Freshman of the Year with an average score of 76.06 and had her first career win last week in the Tarleton Invitational. Coach Jewell also received Coach of the Year for the second straight year and also the 7th time since 2006. And now for today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. About 10 Texas school district superintendents, including a local one, will meet the State Commissioner of Education today to discuss a mandate requiring students to use graphic calculators for an exam, a directive that some say is unfair for poor districts. Most of the students in our school district live in poverty, a Marcus Nelson, Laredo Independent School District superintendent, told the Texas Tribune in a story distributed by the Associated Press. We don't have big budgets to spend from. We are trying to buy the equipment, but we can't ignore that it is expensive. Under state requirements, 8th grade students must pass the State of Texas Assessments of Academic Readiness, or STAR, reading and mathematics test to graduate from middle school. They will be required to use graphing calculators or tablet applications to take the math exam. A graphing calculator is estimated to cost more than $100, and the state has said it will not provide extra funding for school districts to buy the devices. Michael Williams, Texas Commissioner of Education, sent a letter to Texas superintendents in February with information about the new requirement. Nelson said the LISD board will review the district's budget to find funding for the calculators. There are a lot of questions that have been answered during the budget process in order to come to a reasonable recommendation for our Board of Trustees to consider, he said. Nelson said he and about 10 other superintendents from across the state will meet with Williams today to discuss the unfunded mandate. I appreciate the high expectations he is bringing to our state, Nelson added. Now for national news. In Ardrum, Pennsylvania, two prep school graduates used their sport and business connections to establish a monopoly of drug sales at a high school in the suburbs of Philadelphia. Neil Scott and Timothy Brooks were the drug lords for dealers with marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy, and hash oil. They sold to teens at 5 high schools. During investigation, it was discovered that the two students hired other students from Harvard, Gettysburg, and Lafayette colleges to sell the drugs. Scott explained to the police that he needed money and decided to start selling marijuana to achieve that. The police seized 8 pounds of pot worth more than $11,000, a loaded assault weapon, 2 other guns, and equipment used to manufacture hash oil. Scott was making about $1,000 per week selling marijuana. Other students are still under investigation. In international news, Associated Press reports that in Chibok, Nigeria, approximately 234 girls are missing from a northeast Nigerian school. The attack was reportedly by Islamic extremists. At first, they say all but 8 girls have been returned home, but later that 234 are actually still missing. Security forces are still in pursuit of the abductors, but have not rescued any girls between ages 16 and 18. Abducted girls in Nigeria are often used as porters, cooks, or sex slaves. Hopefully, they will be able to recover all of these innocent children unharmed. For weather, from the Weather Channel, the high for today is 81 degrees and wind will be blowing northeast at 10 miles per hour. Today's broadcast was produced by Alexandria Rhodes, Harley Brown, and Autumn Adams. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I'm Tori O'Neal. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.